Today I'm riding my gold watch bike, the Evo Vantage 5.0 that I built up from a bare frame. Oh, and look at this. Brand new pavement. We've got like, I don't know, 16 miles of this brand new pavement. And seriously, is there anything that a road cyclist enjoys as much as a nice smooth road? Last January, oh look, goats. Where was that? Oh, last January, I bought this frame and fork, new old stock, and over a period of a couple of months during the winter, I built it up into my retirement bike. I call it that because I retired on July 1st, and this is my retirement gift to myself. And by carefully selecting the components, I kept the cost down to just under $650. And I'm really enjoying this bike with a 40-tooth low gear right there. It climbs pretty good. It is kind of funny that one change between this and my Nishiki Maricopa makes it so that I can climb hills that I could not do before. I'm not saying it's a breeze, but I can do it. Going to be turning right up here. I usually go straight for a 14-mile loop. Now, this is the first time that I've ridden on this road. I sure hope all the dogs are friendly. I've got a 52 and 42 chain rings on the front and a 10-speed in the back, 11 to 40. And the shifting is accomplished through micro shift. And I'll be honest, after researching them, they seemed like a reasonably good budget-friendly alternative, and I've been very pleased with them. I probably should have scouted this route before I rode it, just to see what kind of hills I'm going to be dealing with. But that's half the fun of exploring. This is a fairly gentle climb, but man, it's a long one. And sometimes it's not the absolute gradient that gets you, it's the duration. It's also pretty hot today. I think they're talking about a high in the mid to low 80s. And when I left the house, humidity was already up to 75%, which is nuts for Maine. Oh, there. A little bit of a rest. I can't believe how far I'm coasting. It doesn't even look like it's that much of a slope. It's all good. You know, I have my sister Janet to thank for my, I was going to say interest, but I'll say it, obsession in cycling. Back in 2017, she was participating in a triathlon. So I went to cheer her on, and the bicycle portion of it that she was doing near the staging area inspired me to go dig my old 1990 Univega 10-speed and my 94 LL Bean approach out of storage. Ooh, veggies. And that, my friends, is why we climb, so we can descend. So anyways, I also get the Univega going again, right? And as it turns out, it was a size too small for me, because when I was riding in the drops, my knees kept hitting my elbows. I sold that real cheap to a co-worker at the time so she could get into it. Long story short is, I now have 11 bikes in my stable, and I always have a few on hand that I've refurbished for an outreach ministry to give to people who need basic transportation. I do this through my church, and oh my gosh, you know, I gave one fella a refurbished flat handle bike. I think it was a 12-speed, and my gosh, he was so grateful. I thought he was going to cry. Just about broke my heart. And sometimes it is so easy to take for granted the blessings with which we live. I mean, I'll be honest, this is a hobby for me. But for that fella, it meant he was no longer walking everywhere he went, because he couldn't afford the bus, and certainly not cabs. So for what is for me, well, frankly, a toy, is to him a valuable resource. It just sort of puts everything in perspective. Whoop. Well, that's a sound I don't like. Small blueberry bearing up here. The bee boxes are out, as are the harvest boxes. I didn't even know this was here. Just a few miles from my house. Awesome. That's the other great thing about exploring. You could drive by this and it's gone in the blink of an eye. Well, that's half of the ride in the books. Yeah, a lot of random thoughts in there, I admit it. Here's the thing. I've been doing a lot of videos recently on my mountain bike, but mountain biking is not my only interest. I also like road cycling. In fact, that's what I got into first. And this is my retirement bike, which I affectionately refer to as the Gold Watch. I think you have to be of a certain vintage to understand that reference. Be that as it may, this bike turned out a lot better than I had anticipated when I first set out to build it. There's a link at the end of this video to a playlist for that build process. Next time, we'll finish up this ride with more random thoughts and borderline gibberish. Some of it might even be vaguely bike related, you never know. In the meantime, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. It does help the channel. If you have not subscribed, please consider doing so. Below left is that link to the playlist I mentioned. Below right is a link to another video that I think you'll enjoy. And until next time, I wish you health and happiness. And as always, thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it when you do. Goodbye.